All right, guys, welcome back. So this is going to be a story about what Vice missed when they were doing their TV series about the most hated man on the internet, Hunter Moore. So what they don't tell you is how this whole thing started with what they call revenge porn. It was started on this site called AnonIB. You can't find it in the Wayback Machines. You can find some of it now, but it just links you to a bunch of porn stuff. Um, but let me tell you this, you can Google this. It's called the Photofucket. Photofucket, I think is how it's spelled. But basically, there was a glitch inside. So everyone nowadays has, iCloud, Google Photos, Amazon Photos, etc., etc., etc. Well, back in the day, in 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, there was nothing out there besides this one storage medium called Photobucket. Photobucket was a pretty decent thing. It was just like what we all have now. We stole all of our photos. There's a reason why it's gone now, though. One of the guys leaked some of its source code, and they also had a major, major security flaw. So some of the code that they leaked on Photofucket would be so once you hit their so let's just say if you had a target and what they did on IB was you posted the girl's actual Photobucket link that you wanted to dump. And a lot of these girls on Is Anyone Up saying that they hacked their email. That's not what happened unless you had your stuff saved in there as pictures, and some of them did because they were stupid. There was a lot of stuff that came out of those leaks, and a lot of stuff that came out of the dumps that came from that, and they were posted on a non-IB. And there was one other site, Pink something, I can't remember what it was nowadays. But people who are around the internet will definitely know what I'm talking about. So basically, it was a message board. The message board would then put links up to like Image Guru or something else, or we would dump all the stuff, or where people would dump all the stuff, and away we would go. You then had Hunter Moore, who then would take some of the stuff, and his people kind of wanted to go over there and share our stuff. And there'd be a lot of people in the comments saying, "Oh, we want this or we want that" on Hunter Moore's site, and then it would come to a non-IB, and then they would ask people like me and others to fusk the bucket, is what it was called. Fusk or Fusck, something like that. It's Fusck. It would be fusk because we would fusk the bucket. It would be called fusking. So while we were fusking, what it would do is we would set up parameters in there. And how this would work is basically you find the person's URL. So it could be Joe, like photobucket.com/Joe123. That's your username, Joe123. Well, Photobucket had no security back then, and they were so bad and dumb. You could, and this is us being smart and the way that we did it. So they get the guy who leaked the initial source code gave you the ability that once you found enough of the images, it would actually open up almost all the way. Not all the way, but almost all the way. And Photofucket is what caused that. But before Photofucket even came around, what we were doing was fusking. And what we were doing is pure URL hunting. So what they don't understand is this guy who got arrested for Photofucket definitely got arrested for making something crazy, because what it would do is it would use our background on the fusker. And what it would do, because he made Photofucket, and then what it would do is we'd put a bunch of URLs in there, and then we put like image.00, DCS or DMC, whatever the actual image would be from all the cameras back in the day. I can't remember all of like what we use and the prefixes and everything like that. But I would do like picture 01, and then we'd go to picture 0999,000. And so we would be able to do that. They had no URL testing limitations like Cloudflare would be able to do, because they would call you a bot and they would probably just ban you from the sites nowadays instantly. But back in the day, there was no rules for this. And in 2008, 2009, 2010, we were able to do whatever the fuck we wanted in this. So pretty much, you got the tool, you set it up, and what you do is put the person's URL in there, guy, girl, whoever you wanted. And whatever you would do, you'd put the image dot whatever you'd put. If you figured out what camera they had, if you knew the person. So this is where it was great if you knew the person. So what we would do on the forum is we would ask you what kind of cameras do they have, what kind of phone do they have, all this other stuff when you post the actual person's photo bucket. And once you did that, then we were able to then put it inside the thing, put the ending results on it. So like image 1 through this, or image 0 through 99,000. DCIM, I think, is one of the other ones, and we did like 0 to 9,000. We did date ranges as well too back then. So it'd be like because they started some of them at DCIM or however I can't remember what the actual beginning part of it is. We do like IMG 001 through this. We would do names. We would do all this other stuff for to search for. We had a list of girl names, guy names, and things that they would call like, general use words. We had dictionary ran on it as well too. So in case there was an image dot dictionary, X or something else that was just randomly through there, there was a pretty elaborate scheme that we did when it came to the range of names that we would be able to find and how we did it. I wish I could try to find like where I had the parameters at, where we had everything saved. If so, I may make another video and show you guys. I'm gonna try to hunt for the Fusker because I know I have it saved on one of my old things, but I just can't find it. And once I'm able to find it, then I'll come back and post this. But so yeah, basically what it would do is we would hit your bucket and we would start getting it all. And once we figured out like, okay, she's an image 0001 person, or she's like a DCIM, or however I knew which one we hit, then you're good. Sometimes it would actually kind of open the photo bucket and dump it once you started getting about 50 to 60 images that you guys would catch, because unless you figured out how the person or how the target, I should say, not saying this is all against females, but however the target had their picture saved, then you could go to work on that. But let's just say if you had a bunch of weird stuff inside, your photo bucket labeled like weird numbers, we wouldn't be able to find it. But we always started with date ranges as well too for picture numbers. Instead of like IMG, we would use date ranges as well, because that's how some of them do. Image is another way that they do it. DCIM is another way. Just so many things. We also did PNGs. You name it, we did it. So what it would do is it would download all your contents, and this is sort of how OnlyFans is ripped nowadays. So most people don't know that you could rip OnlyFans the same exact way. So all you have to do is get someone with OnlyFans, and once you're connected into their OnlyFans, all you need to do is browse their site. I'm not going to say how to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do it here unless this video gets some traction. Then I'll run through on how you get a girl's OnlyFans or how you get her Friendsly and all that kind of stuff. But it's pretty simple, and it's not hacking. So people don't understand. They think this is hacking, but Photobucket was what caused Hunter Moore to get what he had. And then also he had a bunch of dumbasses who would go post. They would go post their girlfriends. I don't know how these women didn't figure out that it was their boyfriends who did it, or ex-boyfriends, or whoever. If some people did post that, if it wasn't an actual photo leak, because that's how all this was back in the revenge porn days. It wasn't viewed as revenge porn to us. It was viewed as what people requested and what we could do because we found a vulnerability inside Photobucket. I mean, if you could literally type in photobucket.com/joey123/image 1.jpg, and then it pulls up the image without any kind of encryption, without any password or anything needed. Is that a hack? No. That's a security vulnerability from Photobucket. And that's a private exposed image. That is no copyright on it now. That is given out to the internet for free. And they should be suing Photobucket or whoever the parent company is or whoever bought Photobucket, because the images were not stolen. They were not stolen. When you have a security problem, that is on the provider who had that problem. That is no one else's problem. So whoever went through there and leaked whoever got what images from them, that is no one's fault, because those were public images. DMCA could not copyright that. No matter what Vice tells you, no matter what Hunter Moore tells you, no matter what any of these females or males are telling you, fuck them. It was public images. If you were able to hit a URL, and if you're able to hit a URL publicly, and they do not have watermarks or anything on them, that image is not copywritten, especially if it's just in a stored area. So no matter what, because there was no credentials, there was nothing securing it, that is a security problem with Photobucket. So this is what they didn't tell you in the movie or in the TV show the whole time, and that's what was driving me insane. It started before on anonymous message boards, and that's what a non-IB was. You can't even search it, so if you could find some of it, that'd be great. I would love for people to be able to link in this video, if this video actually makes any kind of headway. If anyone here knows what I'm talking about too, go for it down in the comments. I can go on for hours and days about this subject and get everyone's attention and piss a lot of people off too. But pretty much in 2008 to 2012 or yeah 13 is when they did it, and when this was going on, it was called fusking. We would fusk your photo bucket. Photo bucket went away quickly once the lawsuit came out. Once that guy came out with Photobucket, because Photobucket took our fusker and he put it inside of a more well packaged tool that didn't look like a script kid thing like we used, because all we had was black boxes with this in it, and it would just dump it onto your desktop or wherever your destination folder was, and it would go that way. So revenge porn, it wasn't revenge porn to me. It was just a job. I didn't give a shit because I wasn't making any money. I was just the knuckleheads behind it. One of the guys who was helping script it, one of the guys who was helping with logic and reason behind it. So yeah, if anybody has questions, if anybody wants to ask in the comments, I know no one sees my shit ever, so it might be a useless video, but hopefully someone does, and we can talk about this because it'd be really fun, and we can go over a lot of things. See you guys.